An EverAfter presentation. Geoengineering, cloud seeding, ChemTrails, contrails. You know anything about that? Anybody around you been talking about those things? I hear a lot of people talking about them. You've been looking up in the sky recently? Are they spraying over your town? Are they spraying over your city? Guys, we're breathing this stuff in. Ladies and gentlemen, this stuff is not a joke. This stuff is nanotechnology. There's a lot of stuff they're putting in these chemtrails that they're spraying us with that are really harmful to us. I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but again, I think there's enough information out there on the internet that you can do your own homework and find out that there is a lot of things that are in these chemtrails that are really harmful to us, harmful to our bodies, harmful to our environment, and we're just allowing this to happen. I haven't heard of one of these planes being shot out of the sky because they're basically slow killing us with all these chemicals. I'd heard about this in the past, and I remember hearing about this so many years ago. I heard this originally. I heard about cloud seeding, and again, I could see where when this started out, just like anything here in this country, we seem to just take something that's completely innocent and just abuse it to as much as we possibly can, and we take something that can be used for good and we turn it into something bad. So again, I remember many years ago hearing about the term cloud seeding, so when I heard about contrails or chemtrails, I wasn't completely surprised about this. I was described that farmers were using this technology, crop dusting. We've all heard of that, right? Crop dusters. Again, crop dusting, is not the same thing as cloud seeding, but again, this is something I was familiar with. They were spraying crops to help manipulate the crops, but I was never aware until I had found out some information about cloud seeding, and that these farmers, as we obviously with Mr. Al Gore pushing all his global warming and being in this large drought that we're in, not that we haven't been in a drought before in this country, folks, and not that we haven't been in many different kinds of weather that we've had throughout thousands of years of history, but again, not to the extremes that we're having them these days. Some of that may be due to what they're putting in our atmosphere. It may have something to do with it, it may not. Again, I'm not trying to say that I'm a scientist here or that I have any bit of background in this, but there's a lot of good solid information on the internet. There's a lot of people who have been doing these type of news articles, newsworthy articles for many of years now on the internet, on YouTube. So you'll have to pick and choose what is good information, what is not. So you're going to have to do the same thing on this video. If I say something that's false, then just take it as false. If I say something that's true, then obviously you've backed it up and you've looked at the information and you would concur with the information that I've researched. Again, guys, I apologize that I have not put up any of these videos yet, having all the different news articles, linking all these articles so you can see what I'm talking about. Again, most of these things I would not speak about if there wasn't good information and some good news articles, good solid information coming on the net from good news resources, credible news resources that are putting this information out, and I'm passing it on to you. I'm trying to kind of give you an all-in-one, and then you just research whatever you think is important to you or whatever you think might not be to your like or not be true. Again, I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not out here to put out false information. Not a scientist, but I do want to try to put out the information as a common person, American citizen who's being sprayed with this crap. I'm tired of it, and I wanted to make a video showing you with at least here come from my mouth the knowledge that I have found. So again, let's talk about that cloud seeding. Again, we had droughts in this country. We have our most of our farming industry comes out of the middle of our country, and it experienced a lot of dry seasons. And so these different airlines, different kind of crop dusting, different kinds of airplanes. Again, obviously you see different ones when you look up. They're not all exactly the same, but we're using this technology. Let's say if the weather was dry and they wanted to create clouds, which obviously I think you've seen, if you know a little bit about chemtrails, they have the ability to create weather and moisture. And so they would spray in these areas, and then it would rain over these farmers' crops, and it was a win-win situation. So very innocent. Who knows at the time, again, it seemed very innocent what exact chemicals they were putting in their particles, whether they were nanoparticles at that time. But, again, if they were just trying to create moisture within the atmosphere to help water these crops, I think that's a great idea. We do need to use our technology, and we need to use it in the right manner, and we need to use it in a manner that's safe and that we've done plenty of background research on to find out if we're going to be spraying chemicals that could potentially loft throughout the globe, that we're making sure we're not putting harmful chemicals up in our environment that are eventually, some things take considerable time to leach back down into back down into the atmosphere, back down onto Earth, and hit the surface. I found when I bring this up with people, people have mixed reaction. I'm going to just tell you personally, I've had some success at talking with people about this. A good way, personally, I've brought it up to people is just when you see one of those days, they're few and far between, guys, but if you find one of those days where you see a clear blue sky, that's a good way to bring it up to people. I say, hey, have you looked up recently, guys? Where did all those stripes go? If they're older folks, I might say something like, where did all those candy cane stripes go, folks? Have you seen any of those candy cane stripes? You know what those things are? Do you remember seeing those growing up when you were a kid? And I can speak to people and get them to talk about things, and a lot of them, they open up and then they realize too that, wow, you know what, I realized I haven't even been looking up, but maybe I have, I just didn't even notice. So, another way, if I've got maybe somebody who's, maybe more kind of like a manly way to bring it up would be like, hey, did you guys see those rally stripes up there in the sky? Where'd all those rally stripes go? That's a great way to bring it up. At times, this stuff has gotten so bad that instead of saying rally stripes or candy cane stripers, guys, I've said, hey, have you guys looked up and seen those waffle fries up there in the sky? I mean, they've got them going in this direction and this direction. They got them going in every direction that you can imagine, and they're crisscrossing our skies, and it looks like somebody put some waffle fries up there in our skies. Again, guys, this stuff is full of terrible different nanoparticles that I've kind of compiled a list of different ones that I have found. And again, not all of these products are being sprayed at the same time, not through the same airplanes. And so, again, this is more of a compilation. If you disagree with this, again, this is the research and the homework that I've found. So there is a difference between a chemtrail and a contrail. A condensation contrail, meaning that when the jets burn off this fuel, kind of like an injector in your carburetor, which shoots the fuel and then allows it to be burned off. Of course, there's byproduct of burning fuel. Well, again, these particles are being sprayed into these different kinds of airlines, and there's more than one way to administer this stuff into the air. But again, it's using it like an injector, okay, using it as a spray and spraying this nanotechnology. But I've noticed myself personally, it seems like the stripes, and then the next thing you know, it's 2 or 3 days later, and then you have rain. So obviously, They're very aware of what they're doing. It seems to me as if they're hitting a lot of the major cities. I've moved a couple times here in the last recently here, and I've seen them from the state that I'm in now and the other state that I was in. I don't know where you could get away from these things. Are you being sprayed in other countries, or is the USA the only one eating GMO and not talking about Fukushima and being sprayed, or are we the only one, guys? Are we just a bunch of sheep walking around, just a bunch of lame ducks? I'm not sure here, so leave me a comment at the end of this video. Please link a comment, send me some pictures, anything. Give me some more information about this, guys. I'm really curious to see more pictures. I mean, I've done homework, I know, but I'd like to see what's in your area. Okay. Just seems to me, why are they not telling us anything about these? Why is nobody saying these? This is something that's persistently being sprayed on us, some of us, day after day after day, and this nobody's talking about what's in the particulate, what is in it. Why is it that some airplanes, when they make a trail across the sky, it dissipates or it goes away pretty quickly afterwards? That would be your contrail. A chemical trail, or a chemtrail, as us tinfoil, the hat wearing people call it, are a completely different thing. They stay in the sky, they spread out, and they actually create weather, like I was telling you with the cloud seeding. But these things that they're spraying on us, guys, these are a huge health risk to us. Okay. They're nanofibers, okay? A lot of these things are just tiny particulate things that would be really hard to see, and some of these things you'd actually have to look at under a microscope. But let me tell you, see if anything's ring a bell. Have you ever heard any of these names? Have you ever heard any of these different kinds of elements? Do you know anything about these? If you have, are they harmful? Are they good? Are they terrible? Or is this stuff we should be, inhaling more of? Should we go out there and just breathe in as much air? I'm going to give you what I know is in these, and then I don't think you're going to find anything that's going to be beneficial to your health. I think, as a matter of fact, you'd find that most of this stuff here, folks, is hazardous to your health. And is a high risk of getting lots of different kinds of disease. Again, these are heavy metals that wear on your body, wear on your well-being, and that, again, is just not going to allow you to feel as well and do as well. This time in this country, it's important that you're making sure you're taking care of your body so that you can be ready for whatever that Bud Light commercial said. Okay. Again, I want to give you guys kind of some information about what I know is in this, and then let me know if you find anything else, or if you disagree with any of this. But here's some of the elements that are in these chemical trails, or those waffle fryers that are spraying us up with their most of these being nanoparticles, being very small. There is aluminum and aluminum oxide. These are, metals. There is radioactive thorium, cadmium, chlorium, nickel. These are all microtoxins. Desiccated blood, mold spores, yellow fungal. Guys, I mean, is this stuff sound like stuff you want to be breathing every single day? Again, it just seems incredible that we have all this particular floating in our air. We have Fukushima. We've got all these genetically modified foods, fluoridated water, guys. How do we survive this attack, these soft kills? Okay. It just seems, again, it seems pretty crazy to me. I look at what's ahead of us in the future, and I wonder what's going on here. For example, the Department of Health and Human Services put in a request before February 1st. So, guys, that's already passed. They wanted. There's an article linked up by. Who was it? Paul Joseph Watson on InfoWars linked an article. There's an article there where he talks about the Department of Health and Human Services ordering 14 million tablets of TheraSafe. I talked on this in another video, but they literally ordered, what was it, 700,000 packages that had 20 or something like that in them of 65 milligram TheraSafe. That's the government approved treatment for radioactive. If you were experiencing disease or radioactive symptoms from radioactivity, okay, beta, gamma, there's lots of different kinds of radiation too. And again, each one of these radiations kinds of leaves a footprint, so they should be able to tell what and where this background radiation is coming from. I often wonder if they're hitting us with radiation. You know, I haven't seen anything on that. I don't want to say that they are, but you know, there's a lot of this nanotechnology, the Morgellons disease, that's been put out there. If you heard anything about that, look at that, guys. What an incredible, you know, affects everybody completely different. One of these nanotechnology things that grows within inside your body as well. Just seems to me that too, if you, again, I'm not sure, you know, I told you how I bring this up with people, folks, and everybody's a little bit different. It seems as if you say the word chemtrail, people automatically are going to label you as a conspiracy theorist. It seems as if they almost just go hand in hand with each other. Chemtrail, conspiracy theorists, you know, come on, guys. Again, you know, this is just kind of one of these things that just doesn't make sense, and we're not doing anything about it, and every single day goes by, they spray us again and again and again, and we're just going to allow this to happen to ourselves, our kids. You know, honestly, I think you should look up there right now. Haven't you noticed the clouds even look a little different? You know, I remember growing up, and I didn't listen to everything in science class, but I know that there's several kinds of clouds out there. You've got stratus and cumulus, all these different kinds of clouds. They're all different, and each one has a different shape and a different kind of mass again. But I look up in the sky sometimes now, and I see, it seems like all the different kinds of clouds up there all at one time, and I just don't ever remember growing up seeing that when I was young. So again, I think all of these things now are pretty noticeable if you'll just look up. Guys, notice what's going on. You know, I don't think it's going to be too much longer before this country is going to be like what you see overseas, where they're all wearing those little masks. And we might think it looks funny, but if you really think about it, those people are pretty smart, and maybe they know something. You know, maybe they know something we don't. So I apologize for always making these videos long, but I could just go on for days, guys, about this stuff. I'm passionate about it. This stuff is affecting me. It's affecting the people in my community. It's affecting the people in my state. It's affecting the people in my country. This is a problem, too, that if we don't address this problem, I think it'll just continue to get worse. And we will continue to see the effects and the problems from all these different things that they're spraying us with. Guys, look up, you know, wake up, see what's going on around you, start talking about this stuff. We need to start getting these things out of our skies. Did these pilots even know that they're spraying this stuff? If they do, how do they sleep at night? I mean, you know, I think one of these states that I heard, I think it was Colorado, gave out permits to shoot drones out of the skies. You know, when are we authorized to shoot these things out of the skies? I mean, guys, again, they're spraying us with chemicals that are known chemicals that hurt, give people lots of diseases, and even kill people. And nobody's going to, you know, I think in other countries I see them shooting our planes out of the skies. Guys, these guys are foreign intruders. I don't care what they say. They're spraying us with nanoparticles that are, a lot of them are heavy metals that are really hard on our bodies. So do the homework, okay? Do some research, back up what I'm telling you, and you'll see I'm not messing around, guys. This is a matter of life and death. This is something that, again, something that kills you 5 years from now that you can't figure out is what is called soft killing people, and that's what they're doing to us, guys. This is another one of those frog in the pot of boiling water, okay? It's just getting warmer and warmer, and I'm here to tell you that this stuff is going to boil us to death if we don't do something about it. So we need to do something about it. The best thing that you can do is tell somebody about it. Make a YouTube video. Call your congressman. Call your senator. Make some noise, guys. We have got to be able to overcome them spraying us with all this crap. It's not good for us. We already are drinking water that's got all kinds of things that are terrible in it if you're in the city. The food is loaded with pesticides, genetically modified foods. The air we breathe is toxic. Guys, it looks like there's no way around this, but you know what? That doesn't stop me from fighting. I don't want you to stop fighting. Fight for humanity. Even if us people have breathed too much of this in and it's too late for us, at least we should stand up. If it was too late for you, would you stand up and do something about it then? If you knew you weren't going to live, you could have your child have a chance at living, would you stand up and do something for it then? Well, I'm not only telling you to stand up, but not only am I telling you to wake up, but look up, America. It's right there in the sky. It's not in your face, but it's right there. So look up, okay? Look up and see what they're doing to us. And while you're looking up, wake up, okay? Wake up, America.